Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Carol Seiki speaking. Well, I felt it necessary to do a video 3 on the follow-up to 1 and 2 of the sexualisation of our children's schools in New Zealand. My background history is working many years around the court system, supporting children around sexual abuse, parents who are the non-sexual abusers in many cases, supporting them through the court system. Also that I would pick up on police files daily. I would be on call 24/7 around serious incidences, around homicides, suicides, etc. I wrote some papers for Judge Brown in the early days, and I was a co-facilitator of a group that met up that were mothers or fathers that had been affected by their children, or they themselves had been affected by sexual abuse. So working in all that area for a good 20 years. So the experience around that, and me myself having been sexually abused as a child growing up into my teen years, terribly violated, and then later actually having to seek help for myself to work around that. So it's a matter of me speaking about this, although I have my personal experiences, to actually say to you, look, I have learned this from what others have experienced. I know what I have experienced, and I will tell you the facts that I have learned around all this that has helped me to know more about me as a person. So I feel I really do have the experience, the learning. I went back to school to take social policy, counselling, child hypnotherapy, child psychology, etc., to gain more knowledge about this in my 40s. So part 3 is about the grooming and sexualizing, the sexual abuse that is happening in schools in New Zealand right under our very noses. And we don't have church leaders actually standing up and talking about this. I hear the Tamaki speaking about it publicly, but we do not have these church ministers. If you don't go to church, or you do go to church, seek out church ministers and ask them, do you know about this? Do you realize this is happening? Have the information in your hand from the school curriculum, the RSE, the Relationship, Sexuality, Education of the school curriculum in your hand for proof. Show them. Ask them. If they're not doing anything about it, why are they not doing anything about it? We are all God's children. God save New Zealand. So we're talking about children that are robbed of their innocence, their magical childhood years, that magical world of childhood. They are pushed into a world of instability. They are the ones that are going to hurt, and you are going to wallow in your tears if your child becomes hurt in this way. This is shameful. Some children will feel shamed into silence and won't speak about it. Some will become introvert. Some will become extrovert. Some will act out. Others will hide in isolation. They will be the child the adult that looks out the window on their own to the world passing by and not really know that they're missing out on living, experiencing life as they should themselves. So this risks eating disorders, addictions, suicides, serious harm to the whole health and well-being, emotional, physical, spiritual, medical. There's a huge raft of risks from prematurely sexualizing children. And as the public of New Zealand, mums, dads, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, teachers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, we should all be standing up together, united on this, speaking up publicly. For goodness sake, people, grow some moral courage. We need to unite. Not just Brian, Tamaki and Hannah walking down Queen Street. We need to all get together, all of us, including the Tamakis, everyone. This is not about protecting your group. This is about coming together united to protect our children. It's about protecting our children. So it appears to me, from what I have seen and experienced now, is that these political cronies in the South of Wellington don't have a conscience. So therefore they feel no shame, they take no blame, and they can do anything to your children, anything to you, without blinking an eyelid, without conscience of shame, without taking blame. That's a very dangerous attribute. It's not an attribute, it's a very dangerous person who can do that. So we have dangers lurking in the corridors of Parliament and beyond in organisations. We have those third-party entities that come into the school classroom who are indoctrinating your children into sexuality, grooming them. The rainbow community, family planning, who are affiliated to international planning, International Planned Parenthood, are all about abortions, about family planning. Come on, people, join the dots. Rockefellers, population division, actually funded, closely collaborated with the International Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, eugenics. Population control was a socialist, far-left socialist, cultural Marxist activist. And this is what we're looking at. Cultural Marxism, critical race theory in our schools, indoctrination into cultural Marxism, oppressors versus oppressed. And they are all will be oppressed. There is no winners. They are all losers. So as you shed your tears for your children and wallow in the grief where they have been prematurely sexualized, and you see the risks, the outcomes of this, can you honestly say you did something about it? Can you say that you stood up and you spoke out for your children, for the children of New Zealand? Ask yourself honestly, can you say that? Drag queen shows, drag queens in libraries, storytelling for young children. Shame on you parents that actually allowed and took your children to this. Adult fetish behaviour, entertaining children. Now, young children being involved in adult fetish behaviour of drag queens. In my opinion, it's children being normalised into sexual behaviour, being groomed, sexually abused. Drag queen story time in libraries, it's not family fun. It's not innocence. It's twisted, it's disgusting, and it's vile. It's the normalising process of drag queens indoctrinating children through sexual, explicit immorality, normalising this type of behaviour. That's what that is about. So worldwide, it's been reported, is an obsession with sexuality to foist it upon children from an early age. This is woke extremism at the very worst end of the spectrum. This involves vulnerable children, and only adults can do something about this. It's insane. So children that attend school classes to learn the ABCs are being taught the LGBTs. This is what we've come to. So if you care about the children, then you find a church minister and you say, what are you doing about it? Time to stand up. We want you to stand up. We want you to give a talk about it publicly. We want you to talk about this publicly. We want you to bring the church leaders together. We want something done about this. If you care about the people and you care about the children, we demand that of you now. So why are they so silent? Ask them, why are they so silent? Ask school counsellors, why are you so silent? What are you doing about it? Enough is enough. Stop now. Let the kids get on with their ABCs. Kids go to school to learn the fundamentals of math, art, English, science, etc., without having sexuality entrenched into it, where they have to talk about sexual desires and fantasies, for Christ's sake. A child's brain is simply too undeveloped to deal with sexuality and relationships, sexual desires. This is not age appropriate. This is robbing children of their innocence, and it's called sexual abuse. Grooming your children sexually is calling sexual abuse. Any activity that involves any contents, text, video, pornographic, is with children of school age is sexual abuse. So, premature sexualizing of children, young people, seriously harms their natural development into adulthood. So, Wake Up New Zealand, publicly speak up. Mums, dads, cousins, uncles, aunties, nanas, granddads, fathers, brothers, sisters, stand up, speak up, grow some moral courage. Yeah, you might be targeted by transgender evil shit, but are you going to let them stop you from speaking up? We need to come together in solidarity as one group. We may all be walking in our own shoes, but we need to come together as one group. A one group. No thinking about selfish thoughts, what your group is about. This is about our children, the most vulnerable, the ones who will be most hurt. Wake up, New Zealand.